Ladies and gentlemen, do I have a treat for you today? It is the modern event deck. Because recently there was a discontinuation of event decks and clash packs in general. So this is probably the first and the last modern event deck. So it's a 60 card deck with a 15 card sideboard. And it is called March of the Multitudes. Get started with the deep strategy modern format in style. Draw on rare, high-powered magic cards from past sets with this tightly constructed 60-card deck. Also includes a 15-card sideboard, strategy guide, spin-down life counter, 80 exclusive card sleeves, and 5 double-sided tokens, and a deck box. Leaders like Elspeth, Knight Errant, generate an army of token creatures, while spells like Intangible Virtue and Honor of the Pure inspire them to victory. White removal cards along with black disruption keep your opponent off balance until you can strike the killing blow. Designed by Richard Garfield. So let's open it up. It's a black-white deck, and it's quite a recent product, but I think it's a great entry point for Modern if you can pick this up at MSRP. So it comes with a little sleeve here. Unlike the Fat Pack sleeves, there's no poster inside. It's just a empty sleeve. You can junk it immediately. And here you got your deck box. Very nice. It's like a miniature Fat Pack. Like if you want to compare it with a Fat Pack box, it's very similar. So you have your 80 card sleeves, which is 5 more than your usual number, because you only have 75 cards in this deck, so you have 5 extra. And you have a little insert here to teach you about the modern format. So it's any modern cards, meaning that they are from the 8th edition onwards. And also a little bit of a guide on how to play the deck and even a deck list. You also get spin down dice counter, a 20-sided dice counter, just like all Fat Packs, but this is a special one with the modern event deck symbol on it. So let's get into the cards. I mean, that's what you guys are waiting here for, right? So you have your main deck and your sideboard. Oh dear. Alright, so we're going to crack this open. It's a preset. It's every pack is the same, but I get to explain to you what these cards are. So first you get your Soul Wardens. Soul Wardens are a staple in a deck called Soul Sisters, which I think this deck is trying to be. Because Soul Sisters is a lot of abilities such as this. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield, you gain 1 life. Next you have Tight Hollow Scholar. A 3-of, which is this guy. He's a way for people to exile your opponent's hand, like one of your cards, just to get rid of any potential threats to your board. Who knows, you might be getting the next counterspell. And wow, this is a catch. Path to Exile. Premium Modern removal. 1 white to exile target creature. Exile means remove from the graveyard, remove from the play, and it doesn't even go to the graveyard. And then its controller just searches for land, so you turn a creature into a land. Right now it's going for around $10 per piece. And wow, this is straight up, you already have value. You have Inquisition of Kozilek. With the recent death of Kozilek the character, it's very unlikely for them to reprint this in a non-modern Masters reprint. So target player reveals his or her hand and you choose a non-land card from it with a converted cost of 3 or less. That player discards that card. And unlike Thoughtseize, you don't lose any life from it. And this is viewed as really good. And right now it's going for around $26 a piece. So this event deck is already kind of covering its own value quite well. You have Shrine of the Loyal Legions. At the beginning of your upkeep, whenever you cast a white spell, put a charge counter. Tap 3, sack, put a colorless mirror token for each charge counter and Loyal Legions. If you were gonna upgrade this deck, this would definitely go out. Next, you have your first rares of the pack. Honor of the Pure. White creatures get +1/+1. Straight up Anthem ability. Very useful. Especially since this deck tends to go wide. Another Anthem ability is Intangible Virtue, because to its core, this is a token deck. And creature tokens you control get +1/+1 and have Vigilance, meaning that they would not have to tap. And they can be on defense each time they go on offense. Now you get your instant Raise the Alarm. This used to be in standard for a short period of time recently. 2 mana to get 2 power in the field at instant speed. So during your opponent's end step, you'll cast this. A 3-off of Zealous Persecution. Until end of turn, creatures you control get +1/+1, and creatures your opponent control get -1/-1. If you're fighting against a token strategy, you would wipe your board, because they're all -1/-1. And if they have 1 toughness, they die. Next, another huge catch, our first mythic rare, Sword of Feast and Famine. 3 mana, equipped creature gets +2/+2 and has protection from black and green. Whenever it deals damage to a player, that player discards a card and you untap all lands you control. This can be amazing in Elder Dragon Highlander EDH, or even in some cases in Modern. If one day when Stoneforge is unbanned, this might be a heavy hitter. Lingering Souls, your premium token generating method of 2 colors, 1 white, for 2 1/1 flyers. And you can also flashback, casting it from your graveyard. So effectively, it's 5 mana for 4 1/1 flyers. Not bad. Now you have a playset of Spectral Possession. Triple white for 3 1/1 flyers. But you can also pay 6 colors. But if you're playing white-black, odds are you can pay the 3 white. Now we have our Planeswalker for the box, Elspeth Knights Errant. This was the first not the first Elspeth. Is this the first Elspeth? I can't remember, but it is one of the Elspeths, because Planeswalkers have multiple printings. She is a 4 mana for 4 loyalty Planeswalker that adds 1 to get a soldier, adds 1 to give a guy +3/+3 and flying until end of turn, which is amazing if you want to swing for the win. And her ultimate basically guarantees that you win the game, because artifacts, creatures, enchantments, and lands you control have indestructible. They cannot be destroyed through conventional means. You can only exile them. So you got your play set of Caves of Koilos. Pain lands, very standard. Taps for 1 colorless. Taps adds 1 white or black, but it takes 1 damage. I personally would favor Goddess Shrine or perhaps a fetch land in this slot if you're planning to upgrade this deck. City of Brass, once again, our favorite fetch land or shock land, but it's quite a good card. Isolated Chapel, full playset, that's pretty nice. Although if I was releasing this event deck, I wish there was shocklands, but it's good enough. And if you have a Plains or Swamp, it comes in untapped, which is pretty nice since you don't have to lose life. You get your Vault of the Archangel. +1. Tap to add 1 mana. Tap 2 colorless and 1 white and 1 black. Creatures you control gain Death Touch and Lifelink until end of turn, turning your whole board into Vampire Nighthawks. So you got a playset of Windbrisk Kites. Tap to add 1 mana to your mana pool. Hideaway, when it enters the battlefield, exile 1 of the top 4 cards of your library face down. You may play the exile card without paying its mana cost if you attack with 3 or more creatures during this turn. So, at the end of combat, you can totally toss out one of these other huge cards just by using this guy for 1 mana. So you can turn 1 mana into an Elspeth Knights Errant, for example. You get your plains and your swamps. So that's it for the main deck. Let's take a look at the sideboard. You get 3 Relic of Progenitus. Target player exiles a card from his or her graveyard, tap 1, exile Relic of Progenitus, exile all cards from all graveyards, draw a card. So it's card draw, it covers itself. It's also an advantage in the sense that you can lock out certain graveyard strategies in both EDH and Modern. Especially in the case of, I would say, perhaps Storm, since they require a lot of flashback with. Or either you can also deal with Gorgo's Vengeance rather well, because the second they bring in a big creature, you can just exile it from the graveyard. Burrington Forge Tender. I would actually prefer another card, because even though it's 1 mana white, 1 white for a 1/1 pro red, and sack to prevent all damage from red source you of your choice would deal this turn, there are better options. Namely Core Firewalker, which is 2 white, but it gets the job done. You get 3 Duresses. Target player reveals his or her hand, choose a non-creature, non-land card from it that player discards the card. Less versatility than Inquisition of Kozilek, but it's just straight up hand destruction. And it's good hand destruction at that. Kataki's War Wage. All artifacts at the beginning of upkeep sacrifices artifact unless you can pay 1. This can absolutely shut down Affinity if it's allowed to live, and if Affinity doesn't have the mana for it. Because sometimes they would toss out a bunch of 0 mana artifacts, and even toss out a Darksteel Citadel in its first turn. And once this is on board, it's a board clear. It deals with the board extremely well. You have Dismember, effectively 1 mana kill spell at a cost of 4 life. You get Ghost Quarters to deal with any problematic lands. I'm referring to Eye of Ugin, Eldrazi Temple, or any of the Tron lands. And you get your double-sided tokens. You got your Elspeth Knight Errant, Soldier token, Mirrored tokens, Soldier tokens. Pretty standard. So, this is the Modern Event deck, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe, and I hope to see you guys soon.